How much did it cost me to build out this FX3 budget rig? So I actually purchased this camera over a year ago, and before using one of Sony's cinema cameras, I was using a Sony ZV-E10, which is around $400 to $500 used on Amazon. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly the price of the body, the lens, the microphone, the monitors, SD cards, as well as a little bit cheaper alternatives that I was using previously and still use even to record this YouTube video right now. Let's start with the camera body itself. So for the camera body itself, for the FX3 Sony Cinema line, on average, this puppy is going for anywhere on the low end, $3,800 all the way to $4,000, $6,500 for the combo package. What I personally did to buy this camera was search on Facebook Marketplace and offer up every single day for like a month. And I was just waiting to see if a deal came up and it was somebody real. No, when you're buying high ticket items like a camera or electronics on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, you got to be very careful. Do your due diligence. Make sure that the seller is a reputable person. Make sure you go in person. Always. Never buy from Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp where you're expecting something to be shipped to you. That's gonna be a huge red flag, and most likely you're gonna get scammed. If you're gonna buy it used, make sure you go in person, you test it out, you get the proof of everything. So far, this camera's been good for me. I bought it used for $2,800 on Facebook Marketplace. I know that sounds like a steal, and it was. The guy was selling it as a combo package with the lens, and I asked him if he took the lens off, if he would give me a deal. And at this point, the camera was already a steal. This guy obviously wanted to get rid of it, needed cash fast, and I jumped on it as soon as I saw the listing go up. If you're willing to negotiate a little bit and have a little bit of patience, you could find this camera anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 on the used marketplace. However, if you wanted to get it new or even used on Amazon, you expect to pay anywhere upwards of $3,800 and up. So let's say the camera body is going to cost $3,500 on average. Once you have the camera body, you need one of these bad boys, which is the lens. My personal favorite at the moment is the 50mm 1.4. Although it is a little pricey, I think the image quality from this lens is definitely worth the price if you're seeing a return from your content. If you're starting out, the lens I would recommend, and still a lens I use a lot, which I will show you guys an example of what that looks like in this video, is this 28 to 75mm Tamron zoom lens. So I love this lens. It's my absolute workhorse, and it's actually my very first recommendation, especially if you're a videographer, because you could shoot basically everything with this lens. It's a zoom lens, so you could do vlog style, portraits, events, landscape, you name it. So I would definitely recommend something like this. Once you have the camera and you got your lens, you need some audio. So two of my recommendations would be to let go of the shotgun mic, especially if you're a beginner or barely starting with content. And I would always go for a wireless option just because it makes things super easy. My first and professional recommendation is the Rode Wireless Go 2. These are absolutely amazing. They're a little bit pricey, but they last all day. The quality is amazing, and I think they're going to be in my bag for a very long time. My second recommendation, and I still use these a lot, guys. I literally use these every day. It's this Hollyland Mini Lark, something like that. But it's what I'm using right now. It's the easiest mics out there, and it's $100. You could probably find them for under $100 when they're on deal. So if you're noticing a trend here, it's all about simplicity and choosing the equipment that's gonna number one, allow you to create high quality content. And number two, make it super easy for you to do that and not be frustrated when your content doesn't look or sound like you want it to. Next is a monitor. So you guys don't actually need a monitor, but I do recommend it if you're doing this professionally, just so that you can make sure you could see yourself, even if you're recording yourself and if you're recording other people. Make sure that your colors and settings are all accurate in a much bigger screen, as the FX3 screen isn't the biggest. It'll obviously do when you're running gun, but if you could throw in a monitor in there, not only are you gonna be more professional, but you're gonna feel more professional recording yourself, recording other people as well. And lastly, one of these puppies. So these Kodak cards are some of my favorite because of their price range. I haven't had any issues with them yet. And the only thing to keep in mind with SD cards that's super important is that they need to be V90 speed. You could buy any brand, but as long as they're V90 speed, you're gonna be able to shoot on the FX3's best setting. So once you get your camera, to get the image you're probably looking for, you need one of those two lenses that I mentioned. So that alone, let's say $3,500 for the camera. Let's call it $800 for a quality lens. That's $4,300. We add the microphone, which makes it $4,500. We add the monitor, $4,600. You throw in some accessories like the cage, the light, and the SD card I mentioned, and you're in about $5,000. And this is on the low end, guys. A lot of times people can't get their camera rig down to $5,000 and under. It's definitely doable. If you want an FX3 rig that's gonna get you quality videos, expect to pay anywhere from $4,000 to $7,000 for a full setup. Now that sounds crazy, especially if you're not making money from your content yet. So if you want to learn how to actually monetize tools like the FX3 to film your own content and or offer this as a service to business owners who need content, then click the link in the description. I just put together a private training where I'm gonna show you exactly how I get clients and use tools like this to get paid a full-time income as a creative and creating videos for other business owners. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and you'll hear from me soon. Peace.